Hello friends, in the last part we had seen what is flow control and how TCP achieves the flow control by using various state variables which plays important role in achieving the TCP's flow control mechanism. Now in this video we will see how TCP established the connection and what is the difference between two-way and three-way handshaking in detail. Handshaking is the process that establishes communication between two networking devices. For example, when two computers first connect with each other through modem, handshaking process determine which particular protocol, at what speed, at what compression ratio, and error detection scheme will be used during the communication session. Before jumping directly to how TCP establish connections between two end systems, we will see the simple generic example of two-way handshaking. Let us take a simple example wherein A needs to establish connection with B. Suppose A wants to have a connection with B, then A will simply initiate by requesting to B. Then B may revert by giving the willingness, that is acknowledgement. Request and acknowledgement. This is a two-way handshake, which on receipt at A, connection is established. Suppose in this case, client wants to establish a connection with server. Do so by initiating and sending a connection request to server. And in return to this connection request from client, server affirmatively may respond by sending an acknowledgement or acceptance to indicate it has accepted the connection request. On receipt of this acceptance from server, now we can declare that connection is established. However, in this scenario, if the return message, that is from server to client, get lost in between, then there is no way for the client to know that server has already received a request connection and thus is goes on retransmitting the same, which may cause the problem. As the acknowledgement signal sent by the server is get lost during the return journey from server to client. Client does not have any mean to know whether the server has accepted the request or not. So it goes on sending the request for communication messages continuously, and which may cause problem. Two-way handshake would only allow one party to establish synchronization and the other party to acknowledge it, which means only one party can send data and hence it does not support full duplex mode of communication. But TCP is bidirectional communication protocol, which means either end ought to be able to send data reliably. We will elaborate this problem next in our discussion about three-way handshake mechanism next. As discussed in the earlier part of video, we had seen that two-way handshake supports only one party to send data. Another party will simply acknowledge it, that it does not support full duplex mode. This problem, however, can be overcome in three-way handshaking, which enables the synchronization of sequence number of both entities involved in the communication. This three-way handshaking mechanism, which is elaborated in detail here, but to have a deeper insight into it, it is essential to know how TCP connection is established in first place. Suppose a process running in one host, that is host A, wants to initiate connection with another host running in another host, that is host B. Here the host A, that is that client process, first inform the client TCP that it wants to establish a connection to a process in the server. TCP in the client then proceeds to establish TCP connection with TCP in the server, typically follows these sequences. First, here the host A TCP, that is host A's TCP sends special TCP segment to host B TCP. This special initial segment contains no application data, but it contains one of the flag bits in the segment's header, that is a sync bit, is set to 1. This special segment is referred as sync segment, synchronization segment. In addition, the client randomly chooses an initial sequence number, host ISN, that is initial sequence number, as shown by value X here, and puts this number in sequence number field of the initial TCP sync segment. Generally, the value of X is randomized to avoid certain security attacks, which we will explore in detail when we will cover the security issues in the networking. Once the IP datagram thus constructed by host A received at host B, host B extract the TCP sync segment from datagram, allocates TCP buffers and variable to the connection, and send connection grant segment to TCP client. This is a connection grant acknowledgement from host B to host A. Note that this typical process of allocating resources before completing the third step of three-way handshake makes TCP vulnerable to denial of service attack, known as sync flooding. This connection grant segment also contains no application layer data. This segment does not contain any data from application layer. However, it does contain three important pieces of information in the segment header. First, a sync bit is set to 1 as we need to establish duplex communication, full duplex communication. Second, the acknowledgement field of the TCP segment header is set to client initial sequence number plus 1. Here X was the sequence number of client. Hence acknowledgement number from host B to host A must be X plus 1. The significance of this, which we have already covered, is that host B is expecting next packet from host A having sequence number X plus 1. Finally, the server chooses its initial own sequence number, again the random number, that is Y in this case, and puts this value in sequence number field of TCP segment header. This connection grant segment is referred to as sync acknowledgement segment. This is a sync segment, this is a sync acknowledgement segment. Next, unlike in two-way handshake, here upon receiving the sync acknowledgement segment from host B at host A, client also allocate buffers and variables to the connection. As in case of host B, which allots certain buffer space and variable to this sync segment. On receiving this sync acknowledgement segment, host A also allots certain variables and buffer space at host A to host B. Host A then sends the host B yet another segment. This last segment acknowledges host B's connection grant segment. Here the client does so by putting the value of server's initial sequence number plus 1, that is y plus 1. This y plus 1 signifies that host A is expecting next packet from host B must consist of sequence number, that is y plus 1, as it has already received the sequence number y. Note that here the sync bit is set to 0. Since connection is already established. In earlier these two segments, sync bit was explicitly set to 1 as connection is yet to establish. This is one-way communication, this is another way communication. But as the connection has already been established, in the next packet, that is acknowledgement to sync acknowledgement packet, the sync bit was set to 0. This third stage of three-way handshake may carry host A to host B data in segment payload. Here during this transmission, this particular segment may consist of certain application layer data. In each of these future segments, the sync bit will be set to 0 as connection was already established. Note that in order to establish the connection, 3 packets are sent between 2 hosts. And hence this connection establishment procedure is often referred to as three-way handshake. First, sync segment, second, the sync acknowledgement segment, third, the acknowledgement to sync acknowledgement segment. These are how 3 packets are exchanged between the 2 hosts before establishing the communication. This three-way handshake, as opposed to two-way handshake, is essential just to ensure that both sides are ready before the actual communication begins. And here the connection is full duplex. We have seen the three-way handshake communication establishment process in detail. Here now we will see the finite state machine description of three-way handshake mechanism. It typically had 5 states as discussed. Initially, closed state, sync segment sent state, connection establishment state, listening state or sync receive state. Corresponding pair of events and actions for each of these states is depicted to have better insight. Initially, the connection is closed. At that point, either it may send an sync request, connection establishment request, by sending a sync segment with its initial sequence number X. This is at the client side. And on the host side, when the connection was closed, host, that is server, is in listening mode. It's just listening if there is any incoming request from the client or not. Once the client has sent the sync request on receipt of this sync segment from client to receiver. Receiver will acknowledge it by putting the proper sequence number. Suppose when the host is in listening mode and it has received the sync request, it will send the sync acknowledgement segment by appropriately putting the value of sync sequence number and acknowledgement number, thus creating a new socket by allotting variables and receive buffer space. And on receipt of the sync received either from client or from server, the connection was established. No action to take place, just simply acknowledged by putting the appropriate acknowledgement number. These are the 5 different states through which the three-way handshake process will travel, and the appropriate events and actions were depicted here, which causes to have a transmission of one state to another. It is from close to listen, listen to sync received, sync received to establish, or close to send, sync send to establish. Likewise, here we will compare the working of two-way and three-way handshake connection establishment mechanism side by side. I had already seen the working of two-way handshake and three-way handshake. As we know, in case of two-way handshake, there is the exchange of only 2 packets before the connection is established, and the connection is only half duplex. That is, a client is only able to send the data to client B. Here the client initiator by sending the request connection request segment, that is sync segment, and server will simply acknowledge it by sync acknowledgement segment. As host, that is client, does not allot any resources like receive buffer to host B, so host B cannot transfer any data to host A. It is a simple half duplex communication channel. Suppose during the acknowledgement path, suppose this packet get lost. So host A does not have any mean to know whether the earlier request packet has been received by B or not. So it just continue to resend the initial request segment again and again, and which may cause a problem. As in case of three-way handshake, there is exchange of 3 packets before the connection is established, and this connection is full duplex mode. As at both the end, resources were allotted to each other in terms of receive buffer. As in case of TCP connection establishment mechanism, there is a typical sequence of activities which needs to execute when tearing off or closing of the TCP connection. Even closing off or tearing off the connection is not an abrupt one, but it is done gracefully as it leads to release of the resources like buffers and other variables which were allocated for active connections. That is, when connection ends, these resources in the hosts are deallocated and put back to the open pool. We will see the series of steps executed during closing the TCP connection in detail next. As the case with TCP connection establishment process, TCP connection tear down or close process involves various stages which are illustrated here in figure. Suppose the client A decides to close the connection. Client application process issues close command through the client socket dot close event. Here the host A TCP first send a special TCP segment to host B TCP. This special segment contains one of the flag bit in the segment's header, that is fin bit. Here fin stands for finish and it is set to 1. In addition, the client also sends sequence number X and put this number in the sequence field of the segment. When the host B receives this finish segment from host A, an acknowledgement segment is written with acknowledgement bit and acknowledgement number X plus 1. Sequence number X is acknowledged with acknowledgement number X plus 1, indicating that host B in future expecting a packet from host A must consist of sequence number X plus 1. At this point of time, host B still send data to host A. On the other hand, host A waits for host B to close. Then host B sends its own shutdown segment, that is, this is a shutdown segment with fin bit set to 1, finish bit set to 1 with its own sequence number Y. Once this segment is issued, now host B too can't send the data anymore. Upon sending this finish segment from host B can no longer send any data now. On receipt of finished segment from host B, client acknowledge the server's shutdown segment with acknowledgement number Y plus 1. And after sending this acknowledgement to this finish segment from host B, that is server's shutdown segment, a cool down period of generally 30 seconds. That is approximately equal to 2 times the maximum segment life. Connection then get closed down. And at this point, all the resources in the two hosts are now deallocated and released and placed in available pool. Means even after sending this acknowledgement to the server shutdown segment, a cool down period of 30 seconds or it may be maximum 2 times the segment lifetime. After this cool time period is over, resources at both the end, client A and client B, then release and put into the available pool. This is how the connection tear down process or close process is took place. It is not an abrupt one. To summarize, the TCP connection establishment and tear down process both at client and server. Here an attempt has been made to illustrate a typical sequence of TCP states visited by both client-side TCP and server-side TCP side by side to have a better insight. Initially, both Here, this is a TCP client and this is a TCP server, and these are the various states that TCP client visit during connection establishment and connection teardown process. And these are the corresponding states at TCP server, which TCP server visits during connection establishment and connection teardown process. Initially, both TCP client as well as TCP server are in closed states. That is, client may initiate the new connection request and server is waiting for any connection request from client. To initiate the new connection, client issues or send an sync segment to the server. After sending this sync segment, the client moves from closed state to sync send state. On other hand, TCP is ready in listen mode on receiving the segment from client, that is sync segment from client. Server respond by sending its own sync segment back to client along with the acknowledgement segment to the earlier received sync segment. Here on the client side, after receiving this sync segment from server and acknowledgement to its earlier segment, TCP client acknowledges the server's sync segment and moves from sync sent state to established state. After receiving the acknowledgement to its own sync segment, server do nothing. It does not send any more data. At this point of time, the connection between client and server is established, that too in full duplex mode. At this point of time, both client as well as servers are in position to exchange the data. Suppose after some time, TCP needs to tear down the connection. It does so by issuing the finish segment to the server. That is, client application initiate the close connection by sending finish segment. So it sends finish segment to the server and it moves from established state to finish wait 1 state. On receipt of finish request from client, server simply acknowledge the finish segment. It moves from established to close wait, not yet closed. On receipt of acknowledgement to its earlier finish segment, TCP client receives acknowledgement and say nothing, that is do nothing. It will simply receive the acknowledgement from server. It simply moves from finish wait 1 to finish wait 2. After some time, server send its own finish segment to client. and it moves from close wait to last acknowledgement state. And on receipt of this finish segment from server at client, client simply acknowledge this finish segment which client has received from server. And it will move from finish wait to state to time wait state. And on receipt of acknowledgement to its earlier sent finish segment from the client, it simply received that acknowledgement and sent nothing. And at client side, after a cool down period of 30 seconds, that is equivalent to 2 times the average life of segment, it is moved from wait time wait state to close. At this point, both TCP client and TCP server move back to closed state. On moving back to the closed state, both TCP client and TCP server releases all the resources held and make those resources available in open pool for next connection. This is how both TCP client as well as TCP server visited various states in the process of establishing and tear down the connection. In this part, we had seen how TCP established connection with two-end system, and how two-way and three-way handshake mode differs from each other, and what are the various state through which TCP client and TCP receiver transit when establishing and tearing off the connections between two-end system. In the next part, we will see the principle of conjunction control. Thank you. Thank you very much.